All right. Good evening. We are at Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. I'm here with my co-host Philip and my colleague and my dear friend Leon. How are you? Welcome to back again to Cat Space.
Thank you. It's good to be here on at least hump day anyway. I'm here by myself. I'm here by microphone. Does that count?
How's your day been? Was it long?
Yeah, it's been a pretty long day. I literally only got home about 10 minutes ago.
Lovely. So, okay, tonight's conversations are going to be a little bit more fun, a little bit more interesting, a little bit more bubbly rather than the last podcast. Now, tonight's conversation is going to start with music. Now, we all know music is a universal language. Everybody loves music. We're all related somehow through music.
Oh yeah.
I have actually fallen in love with Dynamite by BTS and Boy with Love. I think BTS are one of the biggest groups since the Beatles, if I'm not mistaken.
That's a bit of a stretch, but maybe in Korea it probably is. I think
Well,
it's South Korean, isn't it?
yeah, but if you have a look at their information, they've actually beaten the Beatles
Oh,
They've
okay.
actually made more money than the
and
Beatles.
more records than the Beatles themselves.
Oh, well, money was different back in the '60s compared to what it is now.
And of course, music. We're talking about you know the hopeful concert of the Backstreet Boys in May, and I am super psyched to go to that.
Did you say
Uh,
you're super soaked to be there?
Super psyched, I said.
Oh, super psyched. Okay, I
You
thought you
have to
said
wear a
super
white shirt
soaked for a
because it's
second.
super soaked.
But yes. So what music or era are you actually into, and what sort of music do you listen to on a daily basis? Like, what's your favorite go-to?
Wow, that's a tough question for me. I'm usually one of those people that listen from the '60s all the way up to today's music.
So, like, but what's your go-to actually?
Probably I would probably go with the '60s, I guess, because that's when I first started getting interested in music. Obviously, mum and dad were the '60s, and they listened to the likes of, say, the Beatles, the Eagles, Mamas and the Papas, those kind of music. That's so I guess I have a more fondness for that kind of music in the '60s.
Beach Boys, Beach Boys,
Yeah,
Elvis
I forgot about the
Presley.
Beach Boys. I knew that was one I forgot. I even forgot the Monkeys as well.
Now, here, this is the
Oh,
thing,
the
right?
monkeys. That's like a cardinal sin, basically. The
Here,
monkey.
Uh,
here's the thing, right? That Philip and I have debated most of our time, and most of the time we end up arguing the situation. Now, we all know recently Elvis Presley, his birthday happened at Graceland with Lisa Marie, with Priscilla Presley, with his fans, and they all go and, you know, light a candle at his vigil, and they sing happy birthday, and they bring out a cake, etc., etc. To remember the
yeah.
late king of rock and roll, my favorite, Mr. Elvis Aaron Presley. Now, for a long time, this debate has happened, and there are fans who do truly believe that the legendary king of rock and roll is still among us, is still with us, and actually still exists living somewhere quietly as a pastor somewhere in America as Bob Joyce.
Yeah.
Now, I have,
Oh, by the way, when we say pasta, we don't mean lasagna or
Oh,
yes,
bugger. That's
yes,
what I thought.
he's a pastor, and as Bob
It's
Joyce,
tasty too.
and I've done some research to this quite a lot, and throughout my life, and if you type in Pastor Bob Joyce, you'll actually see a guy who is an incredible singer. And the way he sings in his church and the way he moves and uses his hands and the guitar and sings, you can see he's identical to Elvis Presley. He sings the same way as Elvis Presley. And if you type in the video, Elvis Presley, um, I think American Trilogy or something like that, you will see him with a young guy sitting next to him at a bar. And when he starts singing, so like it's
What did you
almost
say
like
that song was?
is it American?
American Trilogy. There we go.
Yeah, but he's at a bar or something, or at a karaoke bar or something, or he's somewhere with
He's actually-
his son
He's with his
or something.
he's basically with his parish,
No, with his son apparently.
and he's singing his songs. And the thing is, this guy's got a lot of traction, but he keeps denying that
He is Elvis
He's
Presley.
Elvis Presley. He goes, okay.
I'm
He
not Elvis
I'm not
Presley."
Elvis Presley. I love Elvis Presley. Don't get me wrong, but
We're
I'm not.
one in the he goes, we're one and the same.
No, he hasn't
Yeah,
said that.
No, he has. He goes, we're one and the same, but I'm not Elvis. And he's tried for so many years as Pastor Bob Joyce to say, I'm not Elvis Presley. But then again, he is Elvis Presley. If you notice when he smiles, you can see like his dimples and the way his eyes light up. You can see when he moves his little finger, you can see there's a ring on his pinky finger, and sort of the way he stands and he talks and it's plays the piano. It's Elvis Presley, guaranteed. Hands down, as a fan, I know.
Guaranteed. The only person that could guarantee that is literally
Is
Elvis
you.
Presley.
But the thing is,
Let's ask him.
the thing is, the reason why so many fans have said, well, there's half and half. There's fans have said he's no longer with us, may rest in peace. And there are fans like me who are going, but he is with us as Pastor Bob Joyce, and he does sing, and he was at a bar with his supposed son, and if you hear his voice, it's Elvis Aaron Presley. Stan.
You know what?
Nancy,
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of is Paul McCartney did back in
No,
1960.
of course not.
Back in 1966, right? There was a rumor going around that he had died.
Yes.
And no matter how many times he denied it, these conspiracy theorists kept on believing that he had actually died. There was even a number of songs that were released regarding the supposed death of Paul McCartney.
But don't you think it's kind of weird that someone who's basically dead would basically write about his own death?
Oh.
Dead people don't write about their own death.
I'm still trying to figure out if Tupac's dead.
That's the thing I wanted to bring up as well.
I think it's on Menu Log at the moment.
No, that's Snoop Dogg. And Michael Jackson is not dead. I've seen Michael Jackson at a live concert in 97 in New Zealand before I came here. And let me tell you, the man did not die.
I think he's totally dead. In
No,
fact,
he's not.
I reckon that not only is he dead, but he was the kind of person that wanted to live for his children.
Yes, but the thing is,
Why would you deny that? Why would you give up that
the
life?
thing is, Michael Jackson got sick of the fame, got sick of being
that
in,
he didn't get.
got sick of being in high debt and cash money. He was broke, but on paper he was filthy rich because the amount of things he had. He did not want to tour the UK 50 concerts. He wanted to get away from making music. He wanted to retire. He wanted to be with his family.
The This Is It concert, that was supposed to be Michael Jackson's last concert, if I knew right.
And he was supposed to retire. But how uncanny. He was rehearsing, and then all of a sudden the next day he has died.
Well, that's why he was committed. They said his doctor gave him too much medication,
Propofol.
and basically that killed him. He paid to get an overdose, so you could say maybe assisted suicide, but and the doctor had a duty of care to keep him alive, and that's why he's in prison today.
But look at it this way, right? Look at it this way. Look at it this way. Michael Jackson, if you remember his movie Ghosts, right? If you remember his movie,
I'd say I remember it, to be honest.
I don't remember.
Or Ghost. Michael Jackson played a mayor in an American town, and he was in disguise in a fat suit, right? Michael Jackson is fond of disguising himself. And his friend Dave, the real Dave, died a few years ago. And after Michael supposedly died, if you watch an old interview with him, with this Dave character,
Can you explain to the audience who Dave
at
actually
Larry
is?
King and Marlon Brando's son, you can see Michael as Dave because the real Dave has blue eyes, piercing blue eyes. The Dave on Larry King has brown eyes, wearing a beret and a suit. And you can tell when he looks at the camera, you can tell he's very, very uncomfortable. But the thing is, once you look at him, you will see that it is Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I call.
Just having a look at this Michael Jackson's Ghost movie now.
So.
It came out in 1996.
No, but
that's Michael Jackson's Ghost.
Put the real picture of Dave and the Michael Jackson Dave, and see how Michael has played it so, because the real Dave has blue eyes. The Dave that Michael plays has brown eyes. And you can see when he smiles, his eyebrow goes up. Dave's eyebrows are semicircle.
Can you explain to us who Dave is?
Dave is an American, is a kid who was burnt by his dad, literally burnt head to toe when he was a child. And he had like 3rd or 4th degree burns all over him growing up. And then he became
Dave's real name, by the way, is David Charles Rothenberg.
That's the one who died recently at a young age. He used to be a rapper and a painter. And Michael Jackson, my hero, Michael Jackson, loves dressing up as in disguises so no one can find out who he is. Have a look at the similarities. It's uncanny.
Well, according to this, Dave died in 2018 at the age of 42 from complications of pneumonia.
That's right.
I don't know. I really don't know. How about
have a look at
I've always believed that Michael Jackson had died in 2007.
No. Yeah, I you know what?
2009 actually, no.
Was it 2009? Okay.
Dave, sorry, I think whether you think it's Dave or Michael Jackson, it's kind of irrelevant, because a lot of people loved Michael Jackson. I mean, I loved Michael Jackson. I loved his music. Kat loves Michael Jackson. I know she loves Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson is the legendary king of pop. No one like Elvis Presley, someone like them will never come around ever again.
Well, that's debatable in itself.
His music, his heart, his soul,
but the way
he moves, the way he talks, the way he dances.
The point I was getting at is that there are a lot of people that love Elvis. There are a lot of people that love Michael Jackson. There are a lot of people that wishes that these people were still alive, but that doesn't mean that they are.
Okay, they are, because Elvis Presley, if you go on YouTube and type in Elvis Presley as the gardener of Graceland, you will see a gardener in a bright Elvis Week shirt. It is an old video of he's wearing an Elvis shirt, Elvis Week shirt, like a bright orange, blue jeans and a cap on, and he's watering the garden. And then you see him walking up towards the camera with a V sign to his head, or V sign by his head, which is a sign of victory or rebirth. And when he looks at the camera, his head is down with the cap, but he's making the peace sign. Why would a gardener walk up to a camera and make the peace sign? If he's just
maybe he just wants peace.
You know, you're not the only one that's actually said this. I'm actually having a look at an article from The Sun. I think this is from last year, where Freddie Flintoff, an English cricketer, believes that Elvis Presley is still alive and working as a gardener at the Graceland Mansion. That's, you say, Christina's not the only one who's actually said that.
Or does he have proof? Because belief and proof.
There's another video that Philip and I have been, Philip likes to debate with me on this one. I don't know if you can still find it on YouTube. I don't know how I came across it. It's an old one. I've seen it millions of times. Of why would there be a black SUV car driving up to the house, to Elvis Presley's house door, with him getting out of the car, going up to his doorstep, and you could see I don't know who was with him. I think Lisa and Priscilla and his security team, and there was a lady that came out from inside, looks like someone who looks after his place or something, and you could or another guy taking a photo with him, and then he walks away, and you could see Elvis shouting at the lady, and then he gets back into the car and drives off. Who in the world would come up to in an SUV to go inside Graceland in an SUV, black tinted windows? Who else but Elvis Aaron Presley?
Excuse me, if I had an SUV in Graceland, I can guarantee you I would go there too, if I had one. I don't have one currently, but if anyone would like to, out there would like to buy me an SUV,
Yeah, donate to Philip.
To Graceland, I will go for you.
Yeah, but you'd have to spend 14 days in quarantine first.
Well, it's worth it for an SUV. I mean,
oh, jeez. Oh, dear.
So, are you on the yes they are or no they aren't?
I tend to go with traditionalist here. I believe that Elvis is dead, and I also believe that Michael Jackson is dead. I also believe that John Lennon is dead, and Paul McCartney is still alive.
So you don't believe that my theory is right then?
Well, well, that's up to Elvis to come out on TV and say, "Hey there, I was never dead."
The reason why I say he is because when Donald J. Trump was running for the presidency of the United States of America, when he was running, he had his rally, and in his rally, it was taken down by YouTube. He said, the king is in the audience, the king of rock and roll, Mr. Elvis Aaron Presley. And they panned the camera to a guy who took his cap off, waved it, smiled, put it back on, and nodded and waved again.
Yeah,
I mean,
can I just disprove that? Can I just disprove that? Not only was Elvis not a Republican, okay, and we know he's not a Republican because he didn't like, he said he was a Democrat even though he supported Richard Nixon. But we know that he was a Democrat. But I'd just like to say that the only reason why Donald Trump would ever do that is if he wanted people who liked Elvis Presley to support him. Okay, I would have done the same. Okay, I would have done the same. So, like, if I was running for president of the United States and I wanted to get a whole lot of people that had really nothing to do with me on board, I would literally say, Elvis Presley's in the audience, say hi. It wouldn't be that hard. There's so many impersonators of Elvis Presley that could do that, you know?
I could do a pretty good impersonation of myself. Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Trump. It's great to be here. Now I'm going back to the Never Hand Ranch.
No.
What am I saying? Never Hand Ranch.
Sorry, Donald Trump does. You know, George Bush was doing worse stuff like this.
But honestly, my theory is
go ahead.
MJ, this is my theory. MJ is alive and Elvis is alive.
Oh, we're in darkness now. See?
What?
Now the ghosts are coming to get you.
Yeah, we're cursed now.
Hang on.
We are cursed.
Hang on.
This is the curse of Elvis Presley.
Oh, shut up. Here we go.
This is the curse of Elvis Presley. You know,
oh, jeez.
There we go.
How morbid are you to talk about dead people? Seriously.
I'm not being morbid. I'm just saying my theory is they both are.
Do you see dead people?
No, but my theory is the legendary king of pop and the king of rock and roll are still with us today. Shut up, Philip. You had me saying the S word in a podcast. No,
what? Shut.
Make fun of me all you want. Make fun of me all you want.
Can I? Really?
She's had wine. Be careful.
Yeah, I'm whining.
Are you drinking champers? Hey,
no,
Christina, are you drinking champers or what?
No, Moscato.
No, we're not celebrating yet.
Oh, okay.
Cheers.
Moscato.
What was
hang on. There. Cheers.
Oh, you're going solo, are you?
The other topic is food. We all love food.
Oh, I love food.
We all love to eat food. And we eat to live. I have a lot of favorite foods. What is your if you don't feel like cooking and don't feel like doing anything, what is your go-to takeout?
If I was too lazy to cook, I'd probably order a pizza or something. Pizza Hut.
Oh, do you know what my favorite one is? It is a thin and crispy Hawaiian, no cheese, and roast chicken with pineapple on a barbecue sauce base.
Isn't that one of your isn't that one of the customize your own pizzas or
Yeah,
something?
but mine has no cheese on it. It has
Right.
roasted chicken on a barbecue sauce base, thin and crispy Hawaiian.
Do you
with
not like
pineapple.
cheese?
No.
Oh, okay. So you're basically like my aunt who kind of can't have, that kind of stuff, like milk or, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's that.
I just don't like the taste of cheese, and I don't drink milk because I don't like the taste. It's just the only time I'll have milk is in my cereal, and I'll only put like about this much of it.
So basically, so you can't taste it.
I think my go-to would probably have to be butter chicken and Indian food.
Oh, I haven't had butter chicken in ages.
Did you know what I actually like doing? I love eating curry whilst watching Red Dwarf. There's something.
I love watching. I used to watch Red Dwarf all the time.
Yeah, I see, and because his favorite food is curry, you just can't help but eat curry in front of it, and I've always done that. It's just.
I remember an episode of Red Dwarf where everything was going in reverse. For some reason, everything was in reverse, and then the cats decided to go outside to the bathroom. And you know what happens when it's going in reverse?
Basically, everything that he basically, excuse the language,
basically was doing is going in reverse.
Back the other way around.
Oh, that was disgusting. It was a disgusting episode. It was so funny.
But then you couldn't finish your beer because it just basically kept topping up.
Yeah. Oh, geez. I missed that kind of British comedy. It's nothing as good as British comedy.
British comedy, keeping up appearances, hands down.
Oh yes, I love it. I absolutely love that.
Poor Richard.
Isn't he the guy? Isn't he the preacher or something?
No, Richard.
Oh no, not Richard. No, he's the husband. Sorry, though. Every time, but I like one thing. Every time the church guy, every time he's playing the vicar, that. And every time he starts playing the piano and somebody says Hyacinth, he changes it to the funeral dirge. Oh dear!
Those are some good times. I remember that, but it was just so.
And what about Benny Hill?
No,
I actually liked it, but I mean it was sort of funny, but I think I liked it because it was in those days that was like the closest thing to porn anyone ever had.
Yeah, you're probably right about that too.
So, yeah, it has its moments. Yeah,
especially if he's like drowning and gets saved by a female lifesaver, and after she gives him mouth to mouth the first time, he's like this, and all of a sudden he's letting up going. And then I back down again, and then a male lifesaver comes along and gets up. Oh, all right.
Yeah, I love classics like that. You'd never be able to make shows like that today. Is Married with Children. You can't make Married with Children.
Oh, Married with Children was
never honestly be able to make one episode
Married with Children.
Today.
So funny.
But it was so funny.
Hella funny.
But if you were to make that today, right, the show would be completely shut down.
It'd be cancelled after one episode.
Exactly.
I think they should do a reboot of it. Bring it back. They seem to be doing reboots of everything now.
Yeah,
every TV show.
It would never work.
Reboot that.
But look at it this way. Saved by the Bell is doing a reboot.
Yeah, but that's not in the same league, is it? I mean, like it's like
Saved by the Bell doesn't have as many fat jokes as Married with Children did.
It didn't have as much sexist jokes, did it?
No, but the thing is, Saved by the Bell was right after Beverly Hills 90210, the old version. And these were the only two shows I watched. I couldn't watch anything else because it just wasn't my kind of show. But they're bringing back Saved by the Bell with Mario Lopez and all the characters except for Dustin Diamond.
They're bringing back Sex in the City next year too. I think this year.
Yes, it's been confirmed, but without Kim Control. Oh yes, Sex in the City 3 is coming.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't know if it was a 3 or was it 10 episodes or something.
It's probably like the TV show. I've got all 5 seasons on DVD. This will be the 6th then.
Maybe they should name that show "Disturbing the Peace," basically.
Sex and the City. If they make it in a modern day twist,
but it was always.
I will be the first in line to go to the movies and watch it, and then buy it on DVD as a keepsake.
Well, they've already made like 2 movies. Was it 2 movies they've made in Sex and the City?
2 movies.
Yeah, there's been 2 Sex and the City movies.
Yeah. 5 seasons, 2 movies, and this will be the 3rd by the looks of it, because they'll have a storyline to go with the TV show.
I have a question. Just one thing is MASH basically still alive? Because every time I watch the show, it's like the Vietnam War is still being fought.
Oh, right. No, that's over. That well and truly is over. And I think one of them celebrated their birthdays recently. I just can't remember which one.
Also, Cobra Kai season 4 is in production. It's being made, and rumor has it Terry Silver is making a comeback to Cobra Kai.
That I saw that, and that was a great show.
And I
only saw a couple episodes of that, to be honest.
And rumor has it Mike Barnes will make a comeback to Cobra Kai as Tori's father. So you've got to watch season 1 and 2 of Cobra Kai, then see season 3. It is incredible. We've seen it how many times so far?
It's so amazing. It's like you actually feel like you're in Japan, interestingly enough, but a modernized version of it. But in actual fact, if you were to go to Japan now, right, it would actually, the real Japan would be way more modernized than what they show you on Cobra Kai.
Actually, Ralph Macchio on Instagram did a tour of Okinawa on Instagram, or put it on Instagram, and how they filmed in Okinawa in Japan. And it is just breathtaking. The views, the scenery just makes you long to get on a plane and travel, because it's going to take about a good 4 or 5 years before anyone will be able to travel anywhere anymore.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Anyway, it's going to be a while before anyone does overseas.
Food and music.
Yeah.
So you guys like pizza. One of the things that's in my culture is we have steamboat, right? And the thing is about
steamboat.
Yes, steamboat. So it's interesting. I always liked steamboat because steamboat wasn't. This is the thing about Chinese culture, is that every single dish that you cook has some sort of hidden meaning behind it, and steamboat is one of those dishes that every single ingredient you use has a meaning. Like, for example, if you put carrots in the steamboat itself, that represents wealth. If you put noodles in steamboat to have it
represents long life,
or longevity, and it's when you put it all in the mix, it's like you're almost wishing the person that you're eating with goodwill, and it always the soup that you're continuously making gets more and more delicious the longer you put the ingredients in throughout the entire night.
Yeah, that's called infusion here in Australia. You put something in, and you put something in like spaghetti or noodles or whatever for X amount of time, it becomes infused with that flavor. That's
correct. Yes. So that's something that is kind of music to my ears. Every time that gets made, because it's really easy.
Once again, menu logs, please take something to Philip right now in a
menu log steamboat. Can't serve me. I should be serving them.
My actual favorite food is Chinese food above everything else. I mean, because my ones have to be sweet and sour pork with steamed rice, dim sims, curry puffs, spring rolls, you name it. I was really crushed because when the pandemic hit, the Phoenix and Westfield Parramatta got shut down permanently. And that's where we went on our first date. And since then, obviously, Chinese restaurants went belly up. But now that they're back in full swing, it's hard to actually go find a proper authentic yum cha place where you can order. Or there are Chinese restaurants, but not like the Phoenix.
Well, it's yeah. So that's a different types of Chinese per se. So I mean that's something called yum cha. So yum cha is basically just it basically just means yum, as in yum, and cha means tea. So that's served between 9 o'clock to 3. But after that, they don't really serve yum cha because that's past tea time. That after that, you've got dinner time after that. Although you can order a yum cha menu that's similar to it, but it's not quite the same. But yeah, I mean, like that's it. What I like about it is the fact that you can eat a lot of delicious food for a very small amount of money. But you know, if you, what I have to tell a lot of my Western friends is, if you're going to order a dish, like a main dish, share it, because if you order one dish to yourself, it just becomes really, really expensive from there if you're the only one, you know, eating it, kind of thing. And you'll fill up too quickly and you won't be able to eat everything else that's on your menu.
I do like going to, or at least to get Chinese takeout. I go. We do go to a couple of places local. There is one place out here near Seven Hills, which Dad and I will go to get some Chinese food. And plus, when I'm out there at work, I'll go to one of those ones up there. I
Orchid
can't remember the place.
22.
It's Orchid 22. That's it.
Oh, that place,
That
is
place
great.
is heaven.
That place
That's
is amazing.
They give a real generous amount of food in your lunch. That's for sure.
Please, when you go there,
Very
send them my
generous.
love. Send them my love. Oh my god, I can't wait to come back one day and eat there.
Actually, one thing I liked about that place is when you order the prawn toast,
Oh,
they
yes.
actually give you real prawns.
Yeah.
If you try to get prawn toast in any other Chinese restaurant, whether it's yum cha or whatever, it's usually flavored prawn. But Orchid 22 was the only place that had prawn toast with real prawns, and that was one thing. That was basically the best thing that Windsor ever had, and I was really impressed with that.
Please send them my love and tell them I can't wait to actually come back and visit and eat till my stomach can't handle it anymore.
Until you barf.
Yeah.
Apart from that, what about fast food? What's your favorite fast food apart from
It
Chinese?
would have to be burgers. I know Philip's is sick of eating burgers, but I'd have to say burgers hands down. Burgers, chicken burgers, southern fried chicken burgers, beef burgers, you name it, burgers. It's hands down.
I started having Hungry Jack's Big Jack because it's just like a Big Mac, but with less oil.
I haven't touched KFC, McDonald's, or Hungry Jack's in a very long time. It's usually, if it's from Menulog, it'll go through like a really artsy fartsy fancy burger joint, and I'll have it delivered. But otherwise, it's burgers for me. And he likes burgers, don't you, babe?
I like burgers, but you know what? I would go a fettuccine boscaiola takeaway. Actually, there was this great place in Penrith that I used to go to. I don't remember the name of it, but they used to make their own noodles from scratch. And I
used to be able to do that at TAFE. It's just been a very long time since I'd made noodles from scratch.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of hard work just to make it.
But it is worth it. It tastes a hell of a lot better than the stuff you bought by in the shopping centers. But I would sort of seriously go maybe a fettuccine boscaiola takeaway over a burger any day.
No, I if you ever want to have a really decent, delicious, mouth-watering, you'll lick your fingers after it, they have to be at the Bayview Hotel, Inglades with a southern fried chicken burger with the lot, without cheese, but with sweet potato fries and salad. Oh my God, delight. Like, it is a treat to scoff that down.
Speaking of which is the worst takeaway that you ever had?
Wow. The worst.
There's always one, right? There's always one story somewhere.
Strange thing for me is I had food poisoning twice from fish. So I guess you could say maybe the old, there was a fish and chip shop down in St. Mary's where I used to live in St. Mary's. That gave me food poisoning twice. So I guess that one would be the one. I just can't remember where it was located.
With for me, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Macca's, but well, I can't eat Macca's anymore because it's just probably better for my diet that I don't eat Macca's. But the
Just
thing
might
that
as well,
really,
it might as well be eating oil.
changed my diet with the Macca's is my brother, and
Okay.
it's not really his fault. Well, it is kind of, but, you know. But basically, what happened was I don't know if you remember this, but McDonald's had white uniforms in the past, and then they changed.
Bright uniforms.
Yeah, right. Bright, happy uniforms. And then they changed to black to make them look more professional. But the thing is with that, with the black, is you can't see the sweat stains. And my brother basically used to come home, never wash his uniform, and they wouldn't know the difference, except for the smell. Right. And that was the thing that stopped me from eating Macca's, because I would always smell my brother coming home from work. And I just want to tell you something. My brother worked for Macca's for 12 years. So every time he came home, I had that smell in the house for 12
smelled like a McChicken.
Until he quit, basically, until he quit.
I used to, look, I haven't touched Hungry Jack's, McDonald's, Porto's, or KFC in a very long time. And the smell of McDonald's or KFC or Porto's actually makes my stomach feel weird. Like every time I smell it, it just.
That's interesting. You mentioned make you feel weird. For some reason, that happens to me, but with chocolate milk. I think it was oat or something. They changed the flavor. They changed the recipe in the oat milk, and all of a sudden I couldn't have it because it was making me feel ill.
I think when I see people sitting down and eating like a Porto's or KFC or Hungry Jack's, McDonald's, I feel like I'm going to be sick, and sort of like I would look at them, and in my mind I'm thinking, oh my God, please stop eating this. You don't know what you're putting in your system. You have no idea what's gone into this. You don't know if it's been, dropped on the ground or whatnot. It's just
or mishandled.
Like, no offense to any fast food chains. Please don't have a go at me with this, but
I will say this for any fast food chains like out there that are willing to pay us at the moment. We'll give you a thumbs up. But since there's none at the moment, you're off.
Don't give them a thumbs up.
Like,
give them a middle finger.
Understands, like when you're eating KFC, you think you're eating chicken, and a lot of people say, yeah, it is chicken, but you have no idea how it just, when it sits in your stomach, the first 5 minutes you think you're fine, but after like half an hour now, you're like in the bathroom every 5 minutes, and it's sort of like I had to change my diet. Like I got rid of all of that and started eating healthy. Like I will never touch another fast food burger again.
You mentioned KFC, right? I just want to give you a heads up. There is a song and there's a video out there on YouTube by a musician called Moby. He had a song out called Disco Lies, and it's basically there's one guy who plays the role of Colonel Sanders as a pimp, and a chicken that survived the coal, and he starts chasing Colonel Sanders throughout the whole video, and ends up cooking him. Cooking the Colonel.
I love Moby.
So there you go. If you ever look in videos, right? If you ever look on YouTube, go look for Moby, Disco Lies. You'll find it. It's a chicken who grows up to be like a pimp player or whatever.
Speaking of Moby,
and yeah.
Sorry, speaking of Moby, 80s, the vinyls.
Oh yeah.
The vinyl.
How good was Chrissy Amphlett, the late great Chrissy Amphlett? She was the ultimate sex symbol from the 80s.
Where'd it go?
We're having technical difficulties.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm still here.
The one song that gets all us girls going at karaoke. The one racy song.
Hang on while I take the headphones off. Now say it. I know what it is. It's from 1991, isn't it?
Yeah.
What is it?
I knew it.
Go on.
I knew what it
That
was.
song, isn't it?
Oh, that
Oh,
song, isn't
that
it?
song.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Or what?
No. No, but you have to say that for a girl or a woman is hell yeah.
No,
It was probably one of the first times that a female singer ever sung about masturbation.
You can't say words like that. You know,
Oh, I just did. So there you go.
Madonna really lost her career over that word.
Madonna. No comment.
I used to make jokes about Madonna and Lady Gaga, and I used to be able to do them in Gilbert Gottfried's like voice. It was like, the only reason why Lady Gaga doesn't
I love Lady Gaga.
is because Madonna hasn't done it yet. There you go.
I love Lady Gaga. Don't mock Lady Gaga.
Why?
She's an incredible singer, performer.
Because she's got a poker face.
Actress.
That's why we can't make fun of her.
So was Michael Jackson, and look how many people mocked him.
Oh, God, here we go.
Don't mock
We
her.
went from Lady Gaga to Michael McJackson.
Michael Jackson. Not
Michael McJackson. Well, I mean, like, part of a Happy Meal. Like, was he sold separately to children? I don't know.
Would you like that upsized?
Now, the good thing about coronavirus is you turn on music and you're just singing and you're dancing in your own home and you just crank it up and not a care in the world.
Speaking of music, coming out in 2 days, ARIA are going to be releasing their annual top 100 of the year. So that chart's coming out. That chart's coming out on Friday.
Top 100 of the year. The year's not even started.
No, of 2020, Juniors.
Oh, that.
Oh, now it makes sense.
Yeah.
I think you've had too much of your campers.
You've had too much.
That number. I refuse to say that number, so I just say that number.
Oh, come on, there's going to be plenty of worse numbers ahead. I mean, seriously, it's going to be like
something in
worse.
68 and 70.
Hey. Well,
I think the number that you're having trouble trying to wrap your head around is the number between 68 and 70.
What, 69?
Oh dear. But I think I have a pretty good idea what the top 4 is going to be. But like I said, I don't work for ARIA, so I'm just completely
Imagine
guessing.
saying the number 69 at a bingo. How embarrassing.
You sunk my battleship.
B69.
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 69, anyone? 69.
69.
69, anyone?
What
Then a
about
grandma walks up to the front and says bingo.
bingo?
Or I'll have I don't know.
It's like that when Harry met Sally, that moment when they're in the cafe and she's
Yeah.
that kind of
I think they've had to change the number 69 to count for inflation, so I think it's about 96 now. Oh dear. Let's conversation. Yeah, but I believe the top 4 in our end of year is more than likely going to be Roses, by St. John, I believe.
never heard of
Number 3 will be Post Malone, Circles.
Oh, I cannot stand Post Malone.
Number 2, I believe, will be Tones and I, Dance Monkey.
Love that song.
And I believe number 1 will be The Weeknd's Blinding Lights.
I'm not a fan of The Weeknd.
I'm convinced that's going to be number 1. That's been the song in 2020 all around the world. It was recently number 1 in the UK, Ireland, and New Zealand.
Maybe
So it's probably going to be number 1.
I wonder what song. I wonder what song will be number 69 on the list.
Wouldn't that be funny if it was
In
something
that
dirty?
Position.
Yeah, in that position. What's 69, Leon, in
That
position?
Probably the Divinals, I guess. No, I couldn't tell you that for sure. But we'll know in a couple of days.
You can sing it, though.
I don't know all the words.
Anybody's
Imagine if someone could sing it in a lounge. Hey, you know who did a version of that? I kid you not, right?
Oh no.
Christina, Kat, I kid you not, right? Rolf Harris did a cover version of that song. It sounded so perverse.
So for all those who don't actually know who Rolf Harris was, he was an Australian idol that got busted.
Oh, Rolf Harris, that guy.
Yes, that, yeah. He did a rather perverse version of that, and he did the song. He played the song with his wobble board too, so that made it even more crazy. It is very disturbing.
The sad thing about that is that I was brokenhearted when he got busted for those crimes.
Same here. Same here. I know something.
Australian Idol. We can't get this guy. This is an American thing. You've got American guys breaking the law and all that, but we can't have our Aussie stars that have been a part of our culture just decimated over something like that.
Absolutely. They're right about that. I think the same thing happened to Robert Hughes. He was a Australian TV show icon until he was convicted, sent to jail as well. You staring at me? Staring at me, Kat?
Can't see. Yeah, but no, I just think that music and food go hand in hand. It's kind of like a great burger, to be honest.
Yeah, you eat enough food, you want to sing the Vinyls.
I think music and food come like a 3-star Michelin meal where you have the main, the entree, and the dessert, because they go hand in hand, like a good marriage. Like they both combine each other somehow. It's like music and food. It's like when you listen to your favorite song and you want to have like lollies or chocolate or ice cream or something.
Carriage. Oh, sorry, go on.
You know that actually, I got a funny story with that Divinyl song. So
yeah, go on.
Basically, I was in karaoke one night. And this is where I met Kat, and there was.
Must have sung this song.
No, I didn't, but my friend did, and for good reason too. So basically what happened was there was a parent that bring 2 of her children up into a pub, and in my opinion they shouldn't have been there, because it's a pub. You can't bring children into a pub. It's wrong. And then my friend started singing that song by the Divinyls, and then after that she basically grabbed her children and got the hell out of the pub. It was perfect.
You pervert.
I don't want anybody else. Oh, there you go. A little bit of a lounge version right there.
Actually, speaking of lounge music, I wouldn't mind seeing all the Justin Biebers and all the sort of new, and old songs and making them really jazzy and really loungy and very acousticy and
there is an artist out right now that does cover some of the current music in a lounge format. His name is Richard Cheese. I hate to say it because I know how much you don't like cheese, but the artist's name is Richard Cheese. There you go.
That rhymes with
He's
cheese.
Good lounge covers. I actually played one this afternoon. I played his lounge version of the INXS classic "Need You Tonight." So there you go.
How would even that go? I mean, how would you turn that into a jazzy song? I need you tonight. That just sounds.
Tonight, 'cause I'm not sleeping. There's something about you, girl, that makes me sweat. There you go.
Sorry, I just
something like that.
Should I just call like suicide line right now, because you just sound really depressed, to be honest.
Suicide prevention. Exactly.
That's not a joke, guys.
No, suicide is not. Suicide's not.
But yeah, it's easy. It's easy to turn songs into swing, or lounge, or something like that. I've got a whole bunch of artists that you can listen to that do that kind of stuff. One of them is called Scott Bradley's Postmodern Jukebox. All right, you can find that on Spotify.
It's kind of like it's kind of sorry. It's kind of like my loneliness.
Be like my loneliness.
I must confess, I still believe when
I'm not with you, I lose my mind.
Give me a sign.
You see how easy it is to turn it into a swing or a lounge?
That practically sounds like domestic violence right there. But anyway.
God.
I do laugh about it.
It's so easy to turn current stuff into lounge music. It is simple.
Baby, 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 oh, baby.
It'd be like, thought you'd always be mine. Baby, baby, baby. Oh, there you go. That's easy. We've turned food and music into food and music in karaoke.
Well, if the shoe fits.
But yeah, it's like how it would be simple just to lounge some of the music. It's easy. You saw how easy that was, me doing the Divinyls, or also the Married with Children.
I actually see you do the Divinyls, and I don't think I ever want to. But
I'll pick something else apart from that song. Okay. Yes. I ain't gonna eat up my heart anymore. I ain't gonna eat up my heart anymore. There you go.
Very good.
Speaking of, we just celebrated 2021. We had Christmas, then we celebrated 2021. Guess what? There's only 346 sleeps to go.
Yay. And then we got 20. So if we start playing the horses now about 10,000 times, by the time that last one will be done, we'll be into the new year or something.
Pretty much. And I'm happy to do that every single day.
Well, play horses.
Play horses.
By Daryl Braithwaite.
Yeah.
What a legend.
Hey, do you know the original version of the horses was not by Daryl Braithwaite?
Who was by? I didn't know that.
It was by Ricky Lee Jones.
Really?
There you go. From 1989. It was 2 years before Daryl Braithwaite got his hands on it.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought he was the one who wrote it. I
No, you'll be surprised. I was surprised when I found that out. So there you go. Ricky Lee Jones was the original singer of the Horses.
I love that song.
That's such a great song.
That and Flame Trees.
Do you know what I
You'll
really
probably
love?
think Daryl Braithwaite's is the better version after you compare the two.
Well,
I have no doubt about that.
Well, I actually liked I Want Summer. Would you say that in this current weather at the moment? I'm not sure.
I Want Summer.
I'm a winter girl.
I Want Summer.
There's only one more month left for summer, and that's February, and then we get autumn.
What I want is
We've only had like a dozen days over 30. It feels like it, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's been like this for the last 2-3 days we've been here.
I know tomorrow is going to be pretty hot indeed. It's going to be roughly between 35 and 38 tomorrow with afternoon rain and storms.
Thank goodness. With the air conditioning on.
Oh, yeah.
We're actually not at home as we speak.
No?
No. We're
Hello, not at home.
No, seriously, we're not at home. We're at my folks' house, actually, because they were concerned that in our apartment, we don't have an air conditioner. We only have a fan, and we use that everywhere.
God.
Well, actually, as of the last post, we now have 59 fans.
How many fans? Oh, right, I get it. Oh, I see what you did there.
No, but like, no, with all jokes aside, we've been here since what, Sunday? Sunday, Monday, today's Tuesday. Oh, no, Wednesday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, tomorrow's Thursday.
Yeah, so we've been here. Actually, it's been so hot that we've forgotten about time itself.
Yeah.
Oh, yesterday I was coming home from the studio, right? I'll tell you this story. It was so hot and humid. when I started walking, I had to stop a couple of times because I was sweating so badly and I was wearing my glasses. The sweat was getting in my eyes and it was stinging me. Not only was it stinging me, when I got to the train station, my arm was literally glowing with sweat. It was that bad. It was that hot and that humid.
Especially wearing a mask.
Oh, I didn't have to wear a mask. I was walking it. So I there was no one within QE. So I can walk it without a face. You can walk it without a face mask. As long as you observe the 1.5.
But if you
That's
don't
all you need
wear
to
it,
worry
you
about.
get fined. You get a $200 spot fine.
That's in shopping centers. That's one of the main reasons you'll get a fine, or on public transport. Now, you can easily beat the system there by going to a train station, not catching a train, and then the police will probably say, "What are you doing?" Right. I'm sitting at my train station. You can't find me because I'm not on
Train.
public transport.
Oh, well, actually, but couldn't you say that same thing about a bus stop? Because you could say, oh,
Yeah, I keep my mask off. I keep my mask off before I hop on.
I don't want to go into too much detail, but I received a response.
From Brad Hazard.
No.
No?
Someone who works for him.
Oh, okay. What did that person say? Apart from non-Brad Hazard.
If I don't wear the mask, I'll get a $200 on the spot fine. But I can get away with it by going to the doctor and getting an exemption, saying that I have asthma and I suffocate with the mask on. But if you're not wearing a mask outside, it's an on the spot fine of $200.
Yeah. So everyone listening out there, if you've got a good enough reason as to why you shouldn't wear a mask to basically get off the $200 fine, find a reason. That's
no, but let's not start something.
We shouldn't be spruiking how to avoid getting fines. We obviously everybody it's there for a reason right now. But if you do have an exemption, then you may not need to worry about that.
That's correct. You shouldn't.
This is not an indefinite thing, I'm guessing, but from what
I told you that.
Until further notice, like we may be going well into 2022 with these masks on, vaccine or not. We are going to this year. I just call it 2020 again because I don't see us removing these masks. And today we only had seven cases in total.
I'll just recheck. I'll just recheck that while we're talking.
One was from the Northern Beaches, but I think. Or a few was from the Northern Beaches and the rest was hotel quarantine.
Yeah, I believe you're right. There was one new case today that was linked to the Barella cluster. I believe that was a Mount Druitt case, if I remember right.
As well, yes.
But that was linked to Barella. So there was one new case there. As I'm just going through my list, here we go. I've got the information now. One new case, 6 in hotel quarantine. Out of 20,664 tests in the last 24 hours.
So the testing is actually going up and down like a yo-yo.
Yeah, the thing is, right, Monday and Tuesday would usually show low numbers, but Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they'll go up. As it did today, 20,664.
Now let's get away from coronavirus and let's keep the happy momentum going.
Let's keep well away from coronavirus.
Yes, please. Because right now I don't want to go from really happy to.
I want to go from really happy to This is cat space right now, right? I want to go from really happy to karaoke or something.
You should come to karaoke at Club Ride one time.
Maybe one day I will. When I'm not so busy, obviously.
The best karaoke place I've ever been to is probably Frankie's Pizza.
I've never been there.
Frankie's Pizza is amazing because the thing is about Frankie's Pizza is that they have live karaoke, so that's not like where you sing, right? But you're the lead singer, and everyone around you is a live band. Now they're probably banned it thanks to coronavirus. But they used to get bands, the type of bands that used to go to that place were bands that were most likely that were about to be contracted. I mean, contracted in, signed by Sony or something like that, to play for John Farnham or whatever. When I was there, I was only allowed to sing 2 songs, but it went absolutely off. And I'd recommend that as soon as COVID's up or whatever, and people are allowed to go back to live karaoke, that they go there. The food was really, really good there. All the pizzas were fantastic. But when you go in there, it's like have you ever seen the movie The Warriors before?
No, I haven't.
It's a 1970s movie. And it's about all these different gangs and stuff like that. When you go in there, you actually feel like you're in the movie The Warriors, because everyone's dressed up in black, and they have like this really cool 80s memorabilia lights, and you just go, you think you're in a time bubble, to be perfectly honest, and you just never want to leave. It's just one of the best pubs, honestly, that Australia has, or Sydney has to offer. There's lots of great pubs that Sydney does have, but that's one of the greatest ones I've ever been to, as far as karaoke is concerned. So
that's located at 50 Hunter Street in Sydney, if I've got that right.
Yeah, it's worth.
It's open.
Totally worth.
It's open from. Let's see. I'm just having a quick squiz at it now. I had the times. Here we go. It's open from 4 p.m. to 3 a.m.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's best to try and get there early so you can get in. But when you're there, people are so friendly to you, and you don't have. It's really funny. The hosts are fantastic. The amount of talent, you go there and you can understand why there would be scouts sitting in the back, looking for talent. So yeah, it's just one of those.
That's why it's good to go for a style that's not really common. Like, say what I was doing earlier on, I was singing some in lounge style. See, there isn't that many in lounge. Most people would do it in rock or pop or hip hop, but nothing like that. But not many people would go for the swing style or the lounge style. You see?
Well, I mean, like, I still think that has its place.
Oh yeah.
But considering most of the music today is really only written by 2 people and bought and sold like a pocket radio. Unfortunately, there's really not that many bands that write their own songs anymore. Unfortunately, I wish they did. I really wish bands wrote their own songs instead of purchasing songs that another person wrote.
I used to write my own songs. Back in 2003, I was writing my own stuff. But that was I only did a handful of songs, but after that I decided to break and then started writing parodies in 2007. So there you go. I'm used to doing originals. I'm used to doing parodies as well.
The last thing I want to talk about is, I know this isn't part of our topics, but it's fun for the spirit of the moment. Obviously, the U.S. Senate has now had 217 versus 205 votes on the 25th Amendment. And tomorrow we will see a live segment of the Senate voting on impeachment. He will be the only president of the United States of America to receive a second impeachment, if ever. All
right, so the consequences of this particular vote is, if he gets impeached a second time, he will not be eligible to run for president again.
Of course not.
Yes,
that's the consequence of that.
But the danger zone of this 25th Amendment is that it doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. You can actually argue a case that the president is not fit for office, and you can shorten another president's term just by saying, dude, you're not fit for office. It will basically effectively cut away a lot of, if you don't like a particular president for any reason, all you need to say is the president is unwell and not fit to lead, and that's it.
I would prefer them not to bother about the 25th Amendment right now. His term is coming up in 7 days.
Well, they've already voted on it
and provoke it again.
They've already voted on it, and the ayes have it, 217 votes. But now comes the impeachment, and now the impeachment is, he came out swinging today. He went to South Dakota to have a look at the wall, and he's saying, "Oh, this is a hoax, and this is not going to happen to me, and it's a hoax, and they won't do anything to me." I didn't incite anything. What I told my followers was everything was appropriate, and what I said was appropriate. And I feel
he may believe that he didn't, but the way that he said it, the way that he said that stuff was inciting. It wasn't, in his mind, he may not think that, but it was.
Yeah,
once a narcissist, always a narcissist.
He's guilty of inciting violence, and he did it to himself.
And really, former respected Mayor Rudy Giuliani, who's his lawyer, said, "What is it? Let's have trial by combat." And
you should never have said that. That also was insightful, and that's what happened.
And the thing is, they're worried for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. They're worried that these people will come out swinging, and not just the normal fight. It will just be, let's just say, a nightmare to be dealt with. And I pray to God that they have enough security and Secret Service and police on hand should anything happen, that they can get these people.
Just to bring it back to topic, I can see that the former Mayor Giuliani and also Donald Trump will most likely be singing Jailhouse Rock whilst eating a shit burger in prison. Maybe they could get it off Menu Log. I don't know. What do you think?
Exactly.
Well, they're both menu flogs, so let's go that way.
So I think that's just about every single thing we've talked about.
Yeah, I think so.
We've had a lot of fun today.
We have. And thank you so much once again to my partner Philip, and to my dear friend and lifelong friend and colleague, Leon.
Yeah, thanks to me, because coming home 10 minutes afterwards and then being straight on here.
From Hawkesby Radio 89.9 FM. Don't forget to tune in when he's on. He has a great set list to go with lots of music and lots of fun stuff to talk about. I recommend tuning in. Thank you for joining us and myself here at Catspace. I look forward to doing another podcast with you next week, my lovely friend.
Take care. I'll look forward to doing another one with you soon.
All righty.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye.